So give us the state of play. Obviously, I know headquarters are closed. You've got some stores open, many stores closed. What is the state of play right now, and how is that evolving around the world?
Yeah, so we're obviously a big global company. We've got about 3,100 retail stores around the world. I'd like to say we saw this coming because it first started impacting our business in China, where we had to close down in the end of January. We had a really strong first quarter, very minimal impact of the pandemic. Our second quarter, which we announced a couple of weeks ago, was really, really tough. Our revenues were down 62% because our stores were closed for 10 of the 13 weeks of that quarter. We do expect that it's going to be a relatively slow recovery, and we kind of said that on our second quarter call. The good news is our e-commerce business has dramatically accelerated through this, and in fact, we made money in the second quarter over a year ahead of schedule. And we've seen our e-commerce business grow kind of month over month through the second quarter, and it's held now into the third quarter. Consumer behavior is clearly changing as a result of the pandemic, though, and I think a lot of this is going to stick.
So let's talk about the changes in behavior. I mean, it's no secret that apparel has been hit hard. Yes, a lot of buying has moved online, but not necessarily enough to make up for the loss. What are the trends you're seeing? What are people buying? What are they not buying right now?
One of the things that, one of the sound bites that's out there is everybody's doing their Zoom calls wearing a pair of pajamas or athleisure tights. And if you were to read the headlines, you would believe that athleisure is taking over the world. And that is absolutely false based on the data. Today, denim is still bigger than athleisure on a global basis. The entire apparel industry has shrunk during the pandemic, but denim's share of apparel has not changed. And today, denim, as I said, is bigger than athleisure.
One thing that we definitely do need to keep buying, and that is masks. I noticed that you have some trendy mask options on your site. How big could this new business unit be?
Well, it's interesting. I read an industry report in the Business of Fashion that says that the mask category, the reusable mask category, could be $1 billion business this year. And so, we're seeing it. We kind of got into this initially for our own employees, knowing that we were going to have to reopen stores and those employees would need masks. That's how we got into it initially. And then we discovered there's a real commercial opportunity here. So our masks right now are the #1 selling mask on Amazon. We sell them on our website as well. And actually, we're in short supply of our masks. So we're like scrambling, doing the hurry up offense to get back into stock. I think, it's here to stay for a while, for sure. And, the more as the science becomes clearer that wearing masks can beat this thing down, we're seeing more and more people wearing masks. And, it's not going to go away, I think, for a while.
As you look out to the fall, typically, Black Friday, big day, holiday shopping, what are you expecting? I mean, we've reported that, the pandemic has wiped $1 billion off your sales expectations.
Right.
Is that still the case? And how will the holidays be different this year?
Just in the second quarter alone versus a typical second quarter, we lost about $1 billion off of our top line. We came into the year expecting to be about a $6 billion business. We're going to be well below $5 billion. We lost $1 billion just in the quarter. And it should be our worst quarter, so it should get progressively better unless there's a huge second wave. But we, for the first time in 40 years, I can tell you, I don't have a forecast that I have a ton of confidence in. We're running the business against 3 scenarios: high, medium, and low. And we are, controlling what's within our control. And so we're managing our inventory going into the second half of this year very, very tightly, because I would rather lose a sale right now than have way too much inventory at the end of the season. Because when you have too much inventory, you have to get rid of it. And the way you get rid of it is mark it down dramatically. And that is really bad for brand health. So we're very focused on maintaining our inventory very, very tightly. We have the ability to chase if the business starts to take off. But my expectations are that the holiday season is going to be muted. It's going to be very, very different. I mean, is there going to be Santa Claus sitting in the middle of a department store in the middle of a pandemic? It's going to be a very different holiday season. But I'm very optimistic about our business. We are going to emerge from this building share. We are going to take more share. We have competitors already that have gone out of business. The brand is really, really strong. We're investing in it, but it's going to continue to be a pretty challenging environment. Consumers are lining up right now to get into our store. What's it going to be like when it's 0 degrees outside? Are people going to stand in line for 15 or 20 minutes to get into a Levi store? I don't know.